Hey guys, and welcome to this video on Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here. So, we're going to jump into this Joe Blow article, and we're going to see what Zachary Levi has to say about the movie. So, Shazam! Fury of the Gods star Zachary Levi addressed his ongoing confusion on the negative reception to the film. So, it's no hidden truth that within Hollywood, obviously DC has had a catastrophic run of films as of late. Their movies have just bombed after bombed after bomb, and obviously Shazam! Fury of the Gods was included with that. It only made, it made really, really bad returns at the box office. So let's jump into this article and see what's going on. So months after the sequel to Shazam failed to capture the original success, Zachary Levi reflects on the ordeal from earlier this year. So, while the fallout may have not been as colossal as The Flash, yeah. Every time someone mentions The Flash, you kind of just roll your eyes and go, yeah. So, Shazam! Fury of the Gods was one of the earlier titles this year that has been subject to underperformance. This came out as a surprise due to the predecessor being one of the more breakout hits of the DC Extended Universe. Yeah, the first Shazam movie, it was a really good surprise. It was really fun. It was really heartfelt. Really good family movie. And, I think they did something really different with the first Shazam movie. It's really, really good. So, the ingredients were gathered to further the series after 2019's Shazam, as it had been announced that Dwayne Johnson was slated to star as Black Adam, which was most had assumed would be the precursor to the eventual battle between the comic book rivals in a crossover film. I think they really, I think they really did. They did Shazam bad. They should have instead of having a single Black Adam movie, in my opinion, they should have put Black Adam in the Shazam sequel. That would have been the best way, and then you could have gone on to have a Black Adam standalone movie after. I think that would have been the better way, in my opinion anyway, guys. So, cut to a few months later, the DCEU is about to be rebooted after a series of unfortunate events. I think unfortunate events is a light way of putting it, including Shazam! Fury of the Gods failing to replicate the first success, and Black Adam following suit without even the hint of Billy Batson's future meeting with the anti-hero. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Zachary Levi recently appeared on the Film Up podcast, where he admits he's still confused on the negative reviews from critics this time around. So Zachary Levi goes on to say, quote, "I don't know what the future holds for it all because unfortunately the second movie was not as well received. The audience score is still quite good, but the critic score was very oddly and perplexingly low, and people were insanely unkind," Levi stated. "I thought we made a, if not just as good, better version than the first movie." He then elaborates, quote, "I've been part of things as much as I wish they were good. I know they're okay. I know that they'll miss a lot, and I'm not saying that Shazam! Fury of the Gods is some perfect, Orson Welles-like masterpiece, but it's a good darn movie." Levi also addressed that that he feels the change in nature of social media factored into the movie's underperformance. He says, quote, "I think even just the world from the first movie to the second movie, the world has shifted so much. Social media has shifted so much. Hate, online hate, haters and trolls, and factions, and all of that have just gotten more galvanized in its toxicity. I think there are people who are generally, unfortunately, want to destroy certain projects because they don't like them, and they don't like me, or they don't like other people involved in them, or whatever." I do agree to some point with what Levi is saying here. There are dark places in, corners of the internet where you have a lot of toxic fandom where, if fans don't agree with each other's opinions, then they're toxic and they have to hate each other. And, if someone doesn't like a movie, that they want it to fail, there's all this kind of, I get where he's coming from, but I don't think that's part of the reason why this movie failed. I think it's just because DC's been on a downtrend. People have jumped off the wagon. People know the DC reboot is coming. So they don't really care about these DC movies because they know it's not linking to a larger universe. And I think the Ezra Miller controversy may have soured people on DC as well. I'm not sure how much that would factor into it, but I definitely say it's a factor to some degree. So the actor doesn't know where the franchise will go from here, but he holds out hope that he will find a second life. Quote, "I just hope that, or believe, history will show. It will be one of those things that people will go back, people will watch Fury of the Gods on home streaming or on a plane or whatever, and it will be this movie that they heard so much shit about, and they'll be like, well, wait a minute." So yeah, he's basically saying here that he hopes that it goes on to have, a better life on, on streaming or on DVD release. That actually happens with films sometimes. Films come out in the cinema, they don't make much money, but then they go on to have a cult following when it comes out on streaming. So, there's a possibility that, in years to come, people look back at this movie in that, they wonder what happened with it and why it failed. And some people may enjoy it, and it may garner a little cult following, if people see it on streaming and like it. But you never know. Hope springs eternal, as they say. But yeah, so what do you guys think about Zachary Levi's comments on, the kind of the failure at the box office of this film? He seems to be thinking that it's to do with social media, and he seems to think that people are intentionally kind of destroying this project or DC projects in general by being toxic online. Do you agree with his opinion on that, or do you think that's just kind of a load of fluff just to make an excuse as to why the movie failed? Personally, for me, like I said before, guys, I think it's just partly to do with the DC's being rebooted. We have the Ezra Miller controversy. Obviously, there's been a string of DC failures, which has put people off as well. I think all of these factors kind of play into each other, and that's kind of part of the reason why it failed. I do believe it deserved to make more money than it did. I don't think this film is amazing. I would probably give it a 5 or 6 out of 10. I would say it's kind of an average superhero movie. There's nothing mega exciting about this movie. It's good. It's worth watching if there's nothing else to do. But like I say, guys, I don't think there's anything super special about this movie, but it deserved to make more money than it did. So guys, jump down to the comment section. Let me know if you agree with this opinion and what you thought about the movie. And I will see you soon.